السلام عليكم الاخوان والاخوات، كيف الحال والاحوال؟ كنتمنى تكونوا بخير وعلى خير. وهذا الفيديو لقاكم فيه صحه جيده، واكيد غيلقاكم في صحه جيده لانه كيتكلم عن المغرب وعلى المغاربه بامور ايجابيه. قناه اجنبيه كتكلم على التراث المغربي والحضاره المغربيه والثقافه المغربيه. تكلموا على يعني واحد الحرفه اللي كانت قديم ومازال في بعض المدن، مثلا ما في مراكش وفي الرباط، هو النفار في رمضان. تكلموا على واحد العاده اخرى وهو التقطير ديال الماء الزهر اللي معروفه به قلعه مكونه، ولكن داروا في مراكش، وكيفاش النساء المغربيات خداو هاد الحرفه وغيسجلوها في اليونسكو. ويا ويلهم الناس اللي خطفوا هاد القضيه هذه، باقا ما وصلتهمش، ولكن ركزت هاد القناه على الدور اللي كيقوموا به النساء. تحيه للمراه المغربيه في المكان، امراه وقاده صراحه للحفاظ على هذا الموروث. ناهيك على تكلموا على الاثار كذلك اللي كاينين في مراكش وفي الرباط، شاله وما ادرك ما شاله، وهذه الاكتشافات التاريخيه ديالها. وشافوا بعض الشباب كيفاش كيساهموا الشباب، وهذا هو الشباب اللي بغينا، الشباب اللي كيعرف بالبلاد ديالو وكيعرف بالمناطق ديالو. وتحيه لك الشباب اللي بانوا في الروبورتاج. خليك تشوف الروبورتاج على هدوء وغيعجبك الحال، واللونجلي نقيه وكاينه الترجمه. غادي لنا واحد لايك، ولا كنتي اول مره درنا اشتراك، وشكرا بزاف الناس كيديروا لايك قبل هذا الفيديو. خليك تفرج واجي في الاخير نناقشوا بعض التفاصيل اللي ربما غتغيب عليك في الاخير. خليك تشوف.
This town crier walks the paths and alleys in the early hours of the morning, starting at 3 a.m. This becomes routine for 1 month and only stops once Eid al-Fitr is declared. Nafar is the Moroccan way of calling someone who does this job. I have inherited the work of the Nafar since I was working in the Zawiya, and I would like to continue this work in Ramadan as well as in order to pass it on to future generations. I am determined to keep the Nafar in Ramadan. Through this work, I earn a great reward from God and people as well. Naufal Bukris usually wears a special set of traditional clothes before he goes on his rounds in the old city. He dons a long shirt or jalaba, a headpiece, leather slippers and white socks. There is the nafar that I brought with me. I examine it and wash it with hot water so that it is clean and so that it has a good tone during Ramadan. The nafar plays a certain tune with a long trumpet-like instrument to wake people up for the suhoor meal before Muslims start their day of fasting during Ramadan. These young people who do it and maintain it is evidence of our connection to our tradition, our history and our true religion as well. It is necessary to give them importance so that the profession of nafar does not become extinct. Well, nafar is currently only found in the old city. As for the upscale neighborhoods, most of them do not accept the presence of the nafar because they say that they have a phone and an alarm clock that they use. As for the old city, they still want its presence. The craft, once a widespread Ramadan tradition in the past, has become rare today as it has gradually disappeared with the emergence of technology and new urban areas.
In Morocco, it is now time to celebrate some ancient tradition of the distillation of orange blossoms. This is now part of the country's national heritage. It has retained its authenticity in Marrakesh, where families have maintained the practice that was handed down from generation to the next. This is now an annual tradition in Marrakesh, which is considered the capital of sour and bitter orange, also known as Bigarad orange. The credit for these celebrations goes to the women of Marrakesh and the women of Morocco, because it was the women who preserved them and kept them to this day. Today, these festivities and ceremonies are part of the national heritage as announced by the Culture Ministry in Morocco. And we are very thrilled. This year, The event is special because it involves cultural, touristic, and academic institutions. Orange flower water is mostly used in pastries, dashed in mint tea, or sprinkled over the head and hands during religious ceremonies. The 12th Zaria festival held this year was very special, and through the workshops and events held in public spaces, the festival this time managed to touch a lot of people, including young. This year, people revived this heritage. We organized a workshop in the headquarters of our association, and we went to schools to teach children. We also organized many events in public parks and even in the streets. Young children learned about this cultural heritage. This year, we had a great distillation season. To preserve this tradition, Al-Muni Association is going to apply to get this practice recognized by the United Nations Scientific, Educational and Cultural Organization, known as UNESCO.
In the heart of Morocco lies a tapestry of architectural marvels weaving together centuries of tradition, culture, and history with the demands of modernity. In the city of Rabat, Morocco's architectural legacy can be felt as you walk the narrow streets of the old Medina. Morocco, thanks to its strategic position, has known several civilizations which passed through Morocco, such as the Roman civilization, the Muslims. All these civilizations have left very interesting constructions in Morocco. There are architectural forms which are based on geometry. There are other forms which are based on fauna and flora, and it is these forms which have given Moroccan architecture originality compared to other architecture. Traditional Moroccan architecture continues to thrive across the country with efforts to retain traditional building techniques and design. The belief is while looking to the future is important, the past must also be preserved. These buildings and these Medina have experienced several problems because of humidity, natural factors, but human factors and exploration. So unfortunately, they suffer from several pathologies. These pathologies must be restored, such as the Chela, Udaya, Medina of Rabat, and Medina of Saleh. There is also a growing emphasis on sustainable architecture in recent years. An example are the ecodome houses built in the shape of a dome using local rammed earth. We can possibly draw inspiration from traditional Moroccan architecture and traditional Moroccan know-how to gain more energy efficiency. We take as an example the width of the walls, the use of compacted earth, an important height under ceiling, wooden roofs and so on. Rabat really is a place where old meets new and where Eastern and Western architectural design come together.
For many tourists, a trip to Morocco isn't complete without a visit to Marrakesh. Now, a new generation of social media influencers are making sure the historic city's hotspots are promoted to their peers across the globe. In Marrakesh, there are many things that can be used in creating content. One of the best places I go to is this terrace that makes you clearly see the beating heart of Marrakesh, which is Jamal Lefna Square. Here we can take beautiful photos. This place gives us a wonderful view of the Kutumbia Mosque and also the old city. Abdurrahim and Abdullarit are young social media influencers. The pair have fun hanging out in the city, shooting and posting anything from juice bars and shops to historic buildings. We are trying through social media and official pages that we have to market this city because it consists of many places. As you can see, we are now in Jamal Lefna Square. There is also Minara, the Kutumbia, and other monuments that we can market through our social media so they can be recognized by people who have never visited it before.
اللي ما تعرفوش مدينة مراكش.
Marrakesh's traditional riads are a haven for Gen Z influencers. It's here that they sip Moroccan tea, exchange ideas, and publish the videos to social media platforms. We are Gen Z. We are subjected to a lot of criticism. It is said that we are irresponsible, that we constantly use the phone, and that we do not do anything. I believe we have the luck to use technology and benefit from it. We are a generation that has this advantage more than previous generations, so we can use it in a positive way. One of those positives is the exposure Bilal provides for his beloved football club, Kokab Club of Marrakesh. The content I provide is related to sports and football in general, which has large audiences because it is the most popular sport. We're here in the city of Marrakesh. That is why I provide content related to the Marrakesh Kokab Club, which is also considered one of the city's historical monuments. For decades, Marrakesh has been a tourist attraction that more often attracts older visitors or those with children. Now, its merits are being hyped to the next generation of visitors.
يعني كما شفتوا الإخوان روبورتاج مهم مزيان، وهذا الشيء كنديروه للتوثيق دائما، أعيد وأكرر كنديروه للتوثيق، لأن غير مثلا هذيك الطريقة تقطير هذا الورد وطريقة الاحتفال به وطريقة ديال يعني تهيئة داك الحفلات به راه ماشي سهل الإخوان. راكم هو التراث اللامادي الحمد لله غينسجلوها في اليونسكو ولا عزاء للحاقدين، يعني واخا يبغيو يسرقوه ما غاديش يعرفوا ليه، وغادي نشوفوا كونوا متأكدين غنشوفوا عاوتاني في الفيديوهات ديالهم انهم ربما غادي يسرقوا، لان حاجه جديده بالنسبه لهم، حاجه جديده، وهم مركزين غير على المدن الكبرى اللي كما يقع في المدن الكبرى، ما عارفينش ما يقع في مدن اخرى. هاد التقنيه او هاد التراث كان معروف في قلعه مكونه، وما عارفينش قلعه مكونه فين جات، ولكن ملي دار هادشي دار في مراكش ربما الانظار عليه وربما هما غيبغيو يديروه. المهم زيروا معنا المغاربه وبقاو ما نغفلوش، فين ما بان شي فيديو ضروري نديروا ليه التوثيق والتعليق والرد الفعل عليه باش يبان ما لنا وما علينا. تفاعل معايا في هادشي. اشنو بان لك؟ قنوات تبارك الله اللهم بارك، قنوات اجنبيه يعني كتزيد تبين المغرب ومنبهرة بالمغرب وكتبين التراث ديالو، وصراحه التراث ديالنا خاصه الانجليزيه باش يزيد يبان شويه للعالميه وايضا للعالميه. تفاعل معايا في هذا الفيديو. شكرا بزاف الناس المخلصين والمساندين للقناه من زمان وحتى الملتحقين معنا واللي كيكتبوا تعاليق رائعه وجميله جدا. راكم تما صراحه. الى اللقاء في فيديو اخر ان شاء الله. تهلاو.